Okay, so now I want to talk about where are stocks traded, right? So the stock market where people can buy and sell stocks, right? It's called the stock exchange, aka stock market. So there are many stock markets or stock exchanges in the world. Here in the United States, there are two largest and most famous stock exchanges. One is called the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE for short. And another one is called the NASDAQ, and it's an acronym for a very long name, National Association of Securities Dealers Automated Quotation System, NASDAQ. So there are two largest and most famous stock exchanges in the United States. But keep in mind, America has many stock markets or stock exchanges, right? So NYSE and the NASDAQ, they are the two largest and most famous. There are many smaller local stock markets or local stock exchanges. So for example, Philadelphia Stock Exchange, San Francisco Stock Exchange, and Dallas Stock Exchange. Okay, the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, right, has been around for almost about 100 years. It's the world's largest and most liquid equities exchange. So the NYSE, as its name suggests, right, is located in New York City. So let's go to New York City on Google Maps. Something wrong with the internet here. Okay, good. So this is Manhattan. So let's go to Wall Street. Here, Wall Street. See, New York Stock Exchange. Let's take a look at Street View. Here, the New York Stock Exchange, right? So this is the oldest and the largest stock market in the world, not just in America, in the world. You can see it is a historical building, right? Of course, heavily guarded. Okay, so the NYSE is a major stock market where people can buy and sell stocks, right? And it has a physical location here at Wall Street. You can see here there are so many tourists around, right? They want to take a look at from the outside the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, there's another stock market or stock exchange called the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is relatively new. So the NYSE has been around for about 100 years, but the NASDAQ is relatively new. So for example, if you want to buy stocks, right, do you have to be physically present in New York City? Do you have to walk into this building to buy stocks? The answer is no. And in reality, basically you are not allowed to walk into this building, but you still can trade the stocks, right? Okay, so now given the current technology, we have a well-established telecommunication network, internet, right? So everybody is connected. So if you want to trade stocks, right, you could either buy or sell stocks, right? You don't have to be physically present in the stock market. You can complete this type of transaction over a telecommunication network. You can complete a transaction over the phone with a broker. You can complete transaction over some software or over the internet, right? So as an alternative or as a competitor to the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, right? NASDAQ essentially is a telecommunication network. So NASDAQ does not have a centralized location like NYSE, right? There are many brokers, specialists working inside trading stocks, right? NASDAQ essentially is a telecommunication network, right? So this network connects buyers and sellers, right, around the world together so they can make transactions. Okay, so here, let me open Google Finance. So in the stock market, right, each stock traded there can be identified by a so-called ticker symbol. So here, this is Yahoo Finance. If I want to know something about the stocks for the corporation Apple. So the ticker symbol for this corporation Apple, right, is, I can simply type AAPL. AAPL. That's the ticker symbol for Apple, this company Apple here. You can see NASDAQ call it AAPL, right? NASDAQ here, the first part, that just means Apple stocks are traded where? At the NASDAQ. So Apple stocks are traded at a particular stock market, stock exchange called the NASDAQ. You won't find or you won't be able to trade Apple stock at the New York exchange because Apple stock is traded at NASDAQ. Let me click here. Okay, stock price fluctuates, right? Why? It depends on supply and demand, right? If more and more people want to buy Apple stocks, right? So recall supply and demand. If the supply is fixed, there are only fixed number share of stocks available, right? But the more and more people want to buy, and you would expect the stock price will rise. If more and more people want to sell Apple stocks, they don't like Apple stocks, right? Based on supply and demand, if we have a decrease in demand, right? The stock price or the equilibrium price is going to fall. So overall stock price fluctuates depending on supply and demand working together. Here, the latest stock price for Apple is $275.03 per share. So the currency unit is USD, US dollar. And from Google Finance, we know Apple stocks, right, are traded at NASDAQ with the ticker symbol AAPL. So let me click year to date. Let me do 1 year. Okay. So the stock price for Apple 1 year ago on April 24th, 2019, right? At that time, its stock price was $207 per share. But now over this 1 year period of time, right? Its price has increased to $275. So that means if 1 year ago you have bought 1 share of Apple stock by paying $207, right? So as of today, April 23rd, the year 2020, right? The stock price has increased to $275 per share. Suppose let's make it simple. You have only bought 1 share exactly 1 year ago, right? So that means as of today, you have made how much money by holding this 1 share of Apple stock? Roughly $70 for holding 1 share of Apple stock 1 year, right? But of course, again, stock price fluctuates, as you can see, right? So recently, the financial market, the stock market has experienced a super turbulent period of time, right? Because of the coronavirus pandemic. So tomorrow morning, once the stock market opens, right, you're going to see a different price, different stock price. So overall stock price fluctuates. Here, there are another bunch of numbers. So the opening price this morning, when stock market opens, right? So the stock price was $275.87. The highest price during this trading day, the lowest price. Here, I would like to elaborate on this value. MKT cap, what's that? It's short for market cap. MKT cap is short for market capitalization. What is market capitalization of a company, public company like Apple or Amazon or Starbucks, right? It is essentially the current market value of a public company or public corporation. So if someone asks you this question, so what's the current value of this corporation, Apple, right? And you can give that person the answer right away. So this company, Apple, now is worth how much money? The market value, 1.2, what's the meaning of T? Trillion of US dollar. So Apple is worth right now 1.2 trillion US dollars. So is this a large corporation? Remember when we were talking about the GDP, large or small, right? It is relative. So let me open this Wikipedia page on GDP. If you still remember what's the meaning of GDP, right? Gross domestic is wealth, the wealth of a nation at a particular time, right? So for example, here we have this country, Indonesia. The 2019 GDP for Indonesia is roughly 1.1 trillion US dollars, right? But what's the current value of Apple? 1.2 trillion US dollars. So that means right now, Apple, this company, Apple, right, is more valuable, is bigger than a country, Indonesia, which is the 16th largest country in the world in terms of GDP, right, by International Monetary Fund, right? So you can imagine if Apple were an individual nation, a sovereign country, right, Apple would be the 16th largest economy, smaller than Mexico, bigger than Netherlands. You can see Apple is one of the largest corporations in the world. Current value 1.2 trillion US dollars. So where is this number from? So it's very simple. So market capitalization, or the current market value of a public company, right, is simply equal to its current stock price multiplies total number of shares of stocks outstanding, right? So the current stock price for Apple is 275 US dollars, right? And Apple may have like a million shares of stocks outstanding, that means available in the market. So its current market value is 1.2 trillion US dollars. So Apple is a super large company. It is super large. So in general, how do we classify public corporations, right? According to their market cap. We can call a stock or a company in the so-called large cap category. Large cap. That means for corporation, public corporation, whose market cap is bigger than 10 billion US dollars. $10 billion US dollars. And of course, Apple is way bigger than that, right? So Apple belongs to a large capitalization company. That means a large corporation. Okay. And we also have the so-called mid-cap category. So that means for those corporations, public companies, right? If their market cap, their market value is bigger than 1 billion US dollars, bigger than 1 billion US dollars, but less than 10 billion US dollars, then this public company or public corporation is classified as a mid-cap company, and the stock is called a mid-cap stock. The last category called a small cap. And you may guess, if a public company is classified as a small cap company, right? That means its market cap or market value is less than 1 billion US dollars. Here, Apple is a juggernaut. Apple's size 1.2 trillion US dollars, current market cap, right? So Apple is in the large cap category. So let's take a look at another company. Let me simply type F. I want to take a look at this one. Ford Motor Company, right? It's an auto company, American auto company, right? So Ford has a stock ticker symbol, very simple, just one letter, F. And where are Ford Motor stocks traded? Here, NYSE. That means the Ford stocks, right, are traded at a different stock market, the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. Okay, so the current stock price for Ford is less than $5, right? It's way cheaper than Apple, you have seen previously. And over the past 1 year, suppose you have bought Ford stock exactly a year ago on April 24th, 2019, right? At that time, you have paid roughly $10 for one share. But now its price is only less than $5. So that means if you have held one share of Ford stock for 1 year, right, you have lost 50% of its value. That means you have lost 50% the money you have invested. You have turned up $10 into less than $5. So you have suffered, as of now, a major financial loss, right, by holding Ford stock for 1 year. Okay. And what's the current value for Ford? Market cap for Ford. Notice that here it is a B. So Ford now is valued, is worth roughly 20 billion US dollars. So Ford is much smaller than Apple, right? But still, since Ford is bigger than 10 billion US dollars, so Ford is still classified as a large cap company. It's a large cap. F is a large cap stock. So now let me type AMZN. As you can see, that is the ticker symbol for which company stock? Amazon.com, right? Amazon.com Inc. AMZN, Amazon ticker symbol. Where are Amazon stocks traded? At the Nasdaq. Nasdaq call it AMZN. Okay. Here you can see what's the current price for Amazon for each share of Amazon stock. Very expensive. Roughly $2,400 for each share of Amazon stock, right? And let's take a look at the 1 year window. So if you have bought Amazon, one share of Amazon stock exactly 1 year ago, at that time you paid 1,900 US dollars, right? But that share of stock now, as of today, is worth 2,400 US dollars. So if instead of holding one share of Ford stock, if you have held one share of Amazon stock for 1 year, you have made how much money? Roughly 500 US dollars, right? You can see Amazon stock price has increased sharply since mid-March. Can you guess the reason why? Because of the pandemic, right? So people, now they are quarantined at home, right? They cannot go to they cannot go to a typical retail store, right, to buy stuff. So they buy online. So that's why Amazon has been doing great since the start of the pandemic. Okay, so what's the size? What's the current value of Amazon? The market cap for Amazon is almost exactly the same like Apple, 1.2 trillion US dollars, right? So Amazon, again, is a juggernaut. It's a super large company. It's in the large cap category, and its size is almost the same as Apple. And if Amazon were an independent nation, right, Amazon would be the 16th largest economy in the world. Now let me type AAL. AAL is a ticker symbol for American Airlines Group, right? It's an airline company. So where are American Airlines stocks traded? They are traded at the Nasdaq. So the current stock price for American Airlines is roughly $10. Over this past 1 year, right, its stock price has decreased sharply. Exactly a year ago, American Airlines stock, each share is valued at $33, but today it is only worth $10, right? So that means if you have held American Airlines stock, one share of American Airlines stock for 1 year, right, you have lost almost 66% of your investment value. You have suffered gravely following the coronavirus pandemic, right? You can see, you can tell from here since February 21st, right? Once the news of the outbreak in Italy, right, spread all over the world, right? American Airlines stock has been falling since then, right? From $28 per share to now $10 and a quarter. Okay, so what's the current market value of American Airlines? So right now, at the latest market price, stock price, $10.25, right? American Airlines Group is only valued at 4.37 billion US dollars, right? So now American Airlines can only be classified as a mid cap, no longer large cap. It's bigger than 1 billion, but less than 10 billion US dollars, right? So American Airlines now belongs to the mid cap category. It's not a large corporation. It's not very small either. It's right in the middle.